Alright, so this is my review of the AEM OBD-II gauge for the Dodge Dart. Part number 30-0311 X Series. There was a couple of questions in the Dart community about its capabilities, so I'll just do a quick rundown of it. Basically, I mean, there's some things in here about welding and all that. That's not true at all. Sorry, I couldn't find a real good lighting in the dark here, but basically I bought the gauge pod pillar from Modern Performance, and it's just the single. You can buy a dual, but this gauge does not function as a dual gauge, only a single. And quite literally, it just attaches from the inside of the pillar mount here. This glues on to the one you have. I am a little disappointed that this texture is like a plastic, and if you look at the other one, it's more of a fabric. Well, it's still plastic, but it looks more like the fabric. It's not this textured. Let me see if I can get that to focus there. Probably not. But I mean, once you drive a while, you get over that. But literally, you just run the one wire down in between the fuse cover here, and then down into the OBD-II port of the vehicle. And then, so kind of threw me off when I first got it installed. So the car has to actually be running. So if I go to accessory and watch here, we don't get any response. I mean, all gauges and everything light up here. We get nothing, so I have to start the vehicle. Everything comes back on. It should say OBD-II as kind of an initialization. There we go. And then it'll automatically go into the first one. This one happens to be LA1, which is air-fuel ratio. There's quite a few different, so everything's abbreviated because the gauge is small, obviously. But when you get back here in the manual, there is explanations for all. Now, not all of these, I think the gauge is capable of everything you see here. There's a page 2 actually, but depending on the vehicle, ECM is what is available to the gauge. So I'll try to go through these one by one and look them up. Just bear with me. I don't have them all memorized yet. So we started with LA1, which is explained here as O2 sensor 1 air fuel ratio. So that's, it's reading 14.3 parts air to 1 part fuel. So that's how you would read that. So then I push page, it'll say that again. I push it again to go to the next one. LFT1. LFT1 is LT fuel percent trim bank 1. Negative equals lean, positive equals rich. So negative 2.3% lean. I'm going to give a little blip on the throttle. So you see how that moves, and then you have that green indicator that also moves with the range. That's kind of cool, like with engine speed and that kind of thing, you get a little more movement. So here again, page percent load, I know what that one is. That is explained as calculated engine load in percent. So here I'm just sitting here in the parking lot at idle. I have an automatic. We're at 29%. So I get a little blip. There you go. Let's see the next one. SFT1. Bank 1, Sensor 1, STFT in percent. Negative equals lean. Positive, so L and S. So this is a fuel trim. Not exactly sure. I'm not an expert, but it has something to do with the fuel trim again, just as the other one. I'll give it a blip on the throttle. Okay. Next is throttle position sensor. That's easy. That's percent throttle, so idle. Okay. TRLA. TRLA. Command equal ratio, air fuel ratio. So because this is a 4-cylinder, I'm assuming that's just going to be the same signal. Vehicle speed sensor. Obviously we're going to be at 0, but as you climb in speed, this would go up and this would read the same as on the dash. Air, AIRT, that's air intake temp. AIRT, air intake temp, and that's in degrees Fahrenheit. So my air intake at the moment is 96 degrees, and it's 48 degrees outside. So if I keep sitting here idling, that'll keep going up. Barometric pressure sensor, that's mainly for elevation, humidity and that kind of thing. That's probably for more race. I'm running stock except for the MPX header and exhaust system and Mopar intake, so, but that's useless information to me at the moment. Battery voltage, that one's good. I have a sound system in here. You can pay attention to that. CLE, that's coolant temperature, 190 degrees. Let me scroll on the dash. Looks like that says 188, that says 190. Close enough. Engine speed, that's obvious. Idling, 700 RPM. Give it a blip, and we get movement. Fuel level, about a quarter there, about a quarter there. Loop, that's your emissions control and your richness and cold temperatures. So when you're in closed loop, that's when the engine's warmed up and all the systems are functioning. When it's OP, that's open, you're still warming up. I would suggest just waiting a little bit till you get into closed loop. Ignition, I think that's advanced. IGN, timing advanced. Degrees before top dead center. Negative sign indicates retard. Example, -10 equals 10 degrees after top dead center. So we're at positive. So we're 3 degrees before top dead center in the advance. But this jumps around quite a bit, obviously. Fuel injection, it manages it pretty well. But if I give it a blip, you can see we can jump it around a little bit. INTP. intake manifold pressure, ABS, in PSI. That doesn't make any sense. Unnaturally aspirated. ABS. We'll have to look into that a little more. OB-70. Sorry, I'm reading. Gauge pressure. It should be in vacuum here, but I don't see a negative sign. I'll have to look into that one. And then we're back to LA1, which is our air-fuel ratio. Yep, that's basically it. This is a 2016 Dodge Dart GT with the 2.4 liter. I know on Modern Performance's website they do say that I believe you would have a boost monitor here as well if you had the 1.4 turbo. So there's some different functions depending on the ECM. Great product. I haven't had any trouble. I've had it installed for about a month now. I just leave it plugged in, let it do its thing. I'll usually leave it on, you know, something fun to watch like engine speed or load, you know, whatever suits your fancy. That's it. Thanks.